I've always been a little bit of a do-it-yourselfer, and for this recipe I'm draining yogurt through cheesecloth. Actually, what I did was I took my favorite non-fat yogurt and I put it into a plastic container and I stretched cheesecloth across the top of it, and I secured it with a rubber band. You can see right there. And now what I'm doing is suspending it over another plastic container, and then I put that into a much larger bowl in case these corners decided to leak a little bit. But what I can see is that there's already some liquid that's been draining out of the yogurt. However, what I'm going to do is drain it overnight and then put it into another container and stick it in the freezer. After that, I'll leave it in there for maybe an hour and give it a good stir, put it back in the freezer, give it another stir after another hour, and then I should be able to try it. After more than 12 hours of sitting with the cheesecloth on top of it and inverted, it's still pretty creamy, but it's much less watery than it was before. It's very thick. So what I'm going to do is stick it in the freezer for about an hour, and then I'm going to take it out, give it a good stir like I'm stirring now. But before any of that happens, what I'm going to do is grab some of these very frozen, very cold, unsweetened carob chips and add them to the mix and stir them in well. It's an hour later and my yogurt dessert is not frozen yet. However, it's thickening and it's pretty cold. The nice thing is that the fruit of the yogurt and the unsweetened carob chips are still suspended in the yogurt, which is a lovely thing. It is pretty thick though. Okay, let's give it a taste. Not bad. And it's naturally sweetened, so it doesn't need any extra sweetener. The flavors of the yogurt that I used were cherry vanilla and boysenberry, and it was by the Cascade Company. So this is the non-fat yogurt version, but I have to tell you, it doesn't taste like it's non-fat at all. It really tastes very rich and very creamy. Okay, well, I'm going to stick the top back on this and put it back in the freezer for another hour and another stir. You won't be able to see it from here, but around the edges there are some crystals. You can hear it. So what I'm going to do is give this a really good stirring and put it back in the fridge for another hour. I'm sorry, the freezer. Yay. Well, it is bumpy and lumpy from the last stirring, and now I'm going to put it right back in the freezer and give it another go for another hour. Well, I completely blanked on the fact that I was making this frozen dessert, and it froze up quite a bit. And now I've got to stir it up and cover it and return it to the freezer once more. And it seems like it's just about almost there. Getting lovely there.